So about how to use solver, I actually explained it once during the WIT tutorial, but I guess most of the people didn't come anyways, so I will redo it here. So the way to do a solver is basically you need to install solver first. If you have installed it, you can just skip like the next 2 minutes. The way to do it is go to File and go to Options and Add-ins. Excel add-ins, click Go and check this solver add-in and then click OK. And then if you go to your Data tab, then you can actually see solver on the right-hand side. So after you have the solver, firstly you should have constructed a table like this, which is a table that contains the price, quantity, slope which you calculated with your ID, and you basically what you do is you leave the optimal quantity blank. And however, one thing you need to notice is that there is actually a formula for optimal price, which is given by slope multiplied by quantity plus stroke price. And even if the quantity is 0 here, it still gives you something, which you need to do it because the solver actually used this formula to compute the revenue. And the revenue, similarly, revenue is optimal quantity multiplied by optimal price and now multiplied by n. So one question is what n is. If you go to the parameters tabs I defined, n is 5, which is the number of ships. Remember to multiply by 5 for revenue because there are 5 ships. Each ship is containing a lot of containers. And also elasticity formula, you should have it correctly. I guess this formula is correct, but it may not be, so be careful. And then what you do is basically you click on this thing, which is the total revenue. You go to solver, which then the objective will be automatically set to this thing. Something you need to change here is the variables you want to change. So click on this and select everything as the optimal quantity and done. And about the constraints, you could add an integer constraint. I added here just because I want to show you how to add a constraint. So click add here, cell reference. So you select the ones that you want it to be integer or want it to be smaller, or you could do something. You can actually type in numbers here even. But anyways, if you want something to be integer, then just click integer here and then click OK. Then one of them will be added. If you want to add an extra, then you can say if you want this total quantity to be smaller than equal to some number you want, you can basically type in any number, say 1 million, but I will not add it because it's not useful here. And remember, you should make the unconstrained variables non-negative, and you use GRG, non-linear optimization, because, well, this is actually linear, but yeah, we still want to use non-linear optimization. And we click solve. Then it will take a while, and this pops up. Then you click OK. So note that this column, which is what you have changed, is updated automatically to get you the optimal revenue. So one thing you could do is you could try to change the numbers here. If anything you change, it will make this thing smaller. And then another thing you notice is that the elasticity is always -1, which is not obvious. Because if you have taken equal 100, then you should know that this is like a monopoly because it's maximizing by changing quantity. And when it's maximizing, when the cost is 0, when the marginal cost is 0, then at the optimal, the elasticity is always -1.